So as I sit here watching three different live streams about everything that's going on tonight, um, and obviously I'm on Facebook. You know, it's hard to put into words the reason why someone like me is upset about this in a way that everyone will understand. I'm not upset just about this one verdict. I'm upset that this happens over and over and over and over and over again. And nobody in a position of power cares. Nobody in a position to enact change cares. I understand that according to the facts for this specific case, charges couldn't be brought. And I'd like to sit here and say, well, that's fine. But it's not. The problem isn't this one case. The problem has so many facets to it that it's hard to look at just one angle and truly understand what's going on. You have the militarization of police all over the country. It's absurd. You know, a town. I grew up in a town. You know, to me, a town is a place that doesn't allow a McDonald's to even exist within its limits, where the pizza shop is where you get your pizza. That's a town. My graduating class was like 80 kids. That's a town. A town doesn't need an armored personnel carrier. A town probably doesn't need a SWAT team. Every day, someone is being murdered by a police officer. Every day. Multiple times a day. Some can't call murder because it was justifiable. But more than a few are murder. You know, I have so many friends that, you know, they're all from different walks of life. And a lot of them just don't truly understand what's going on out there because they don't want to know. They only know what mainstream media throws at them. And right now, mainstream media is throwing at them bullshit. Let's show all of the people breaking into things. Let's show the protesters turning over a police car. Let's show the idiots that are out there. They're not going to show you the peaceful protesters. They're not going to show you the intelligent people that have something to say about the situation. They're not going to show you that in mainstream media. They're going to show you what gets ratings, what gets people to watch. You know, we can have a man on the street in New York City, get choked out and murdered, unarmed, choked out, and murdered. And you know what some of my friends respond to that with? Oh, well, he had asthma, and he shouldn't have been selling non-taxed cigarettes. I'm laughing at the absurdity of it. He didn't die of an asthma attack. He died because he was choked out. That's the medical examiner's report. No evidence was brought forward that he was selling illegal, untaxed cigarettes. The man was murdered on a street while being taped by somebody's smartphone. He was fucking murdered. People are wondering why so many people are protesting this right now because, well, there wasn't enough evidence. They can't indict him. They can't do it. Okay. People aren't protesting over this one incident. They're protesting out of frustration at a government that doesn't care how far-reaching our police have gotten, how militarized they've gotten. We have stop and frisk in New York City. They have stopped and frisked more African Americans than the amount that physically live in the city every year. For what? Are they really stopping crime? An article just came out about the state of Utah. In the state of Utah, police have killed more people in that state than every civilian combined. Some people say some of those cities are like the Wild Wild West. I had no idea about Utah. I had no clue. Until the government chooses to make some changes. And until white, privileged people decide to open their fucking eyes and see that just because they themselves have had nothing but good run-ins with police officers doesn't mean that everybody does. Until those things happen, this is only going to get worse. There's no getting around that. I just want to just walk up to people and shake them and be like, how do you live in your world with your blinders on and not know what's going on out there? Not realize the brutality and the corruption. Something's going to happen. Sooner or later, something's going to happen. Protests need to happen on a large scale. Large, peaceful protests need to happen. Everyone can't keep turning a blind eye forever. It's going to come to a head. I just hope it happens sooner than later. Rant over.